have no concept of knowing how to be a musician at all whatsoever. I mean, I don't know the names of chords to play. I don't know how to do major and minor chords on a guitar at all. I mean, I couldn't even pass, Guitar 101.
Alright, so before you kill me, I'm probably a bigger Kurt Cobain fan than you. The wording was intentional, but I didn't mean to offend him or Nirvana in any way. The thing that I actually want to talk about is the fact that most people seem to think of Kurt Cobain as this lazy, bad guitarist with absolutely no knowledge of music theory or anything, which, if you've ever listened to a Nirvana song, is completely insane. And if you actually go back and watch Kurt documentaries or you read books about Nirvana, you'll find a lot of conflicting stories, because present day Kurt really seemed to hate and loathe the fame and the money and the success, while literally every single person, be it from his friends to his family to his ex-girlfriends, can attest to the fact that everything he wanted to do was become the biggest rock star in the world. He was practicing for hours. All he talked about was the fact that he wanted to do music, and he was playing countless gigs to basically no crowd at all. And if you know a little about the history of Nirvana, you would know that they had to go through a bunch of drummers, because every drummer they had didn't live up to Kurt's standards. In the Come As You Are biography, they even mention a letter Kurt wrote to a drummer in which Kurt mentions that they need to play at least 5 times a week in order to get really good. You don't get world famous on accident. So how come people have this weird misconception about Kurt Cobain being this really lazy, sleazy junkie who basically had everything handed to him? I personally think it comes down to 3 things. Number 1, obviously being his non-caring attitude. Just watch any Kurt Cobain interview, he literally looks like he would rather be anywhere else. Number 2 is obviously his deteriorating mental health and drug addiction, because I think that no matter how disciplined you are, being addicted to heroin is gonna make you a pretty lazy person. And number 3 is the fact that humans in general want something until they have that thing, and then it suddenly becomes boring. Just like a lot of celebrities in general, I feel like Kurt Cobain was chasing money and success because he thought that would fix his bad mental health and the hole in his heart. And then once he got that success, he realized it didn't help at all. So he probably became incredibly bitter towards it. I still feel like it's incredibly sad that most people seem to think of Kurt Cobain as this really basic guitarist, because in my opinion, it's pretty obvious that he knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, just look at this live performance of Smells Like Teen Spirit. The only thing he actually needed to play are 2 notes. Just look at that cheeky grin, the fucker knew exactly what he was doing. What all this eventually boils down to is the fact that I think Kurt Cobain, in the most positive way possible, was actually a poser. This whole I don't give a shit, I don't want to be a rock star attitude is fabricated. I really think that was just his image. Because as a young adult at least, he was doing everything he could to become a successful rock star. So basically, Kurt played us all. And I do hope he's up there, and every time someone mentions him being lazy or untalented, he just gives them another cheeky smile.